Did you know that the most dangerous form of manipulation never feels like an attack, but instead feels like love? In the world of relationship psychology, real manipulation does not happen through loud arguments or physical force. It happens quietly, slowly, and behind the scenes. It is a subtle shift in power where one person gradually gives up their peace, their friends, and their self-respect just to keep their partner happy. Many men wake up one day and realize they are completely trapped in a life they do not control, wondering how they allowed themselves to get to this point. They feel constant guilt, permanent anxiety, and a deep fear of making their partner angry, but they cannot point to the exact moment things went wrong. This happens because emotional manipulation operates like heat applied to water very slowly. You do not realize you are boiling until it is already too late. Understanding these psychological games is not about blaming anyone or creating hatred between men and women. It is about learning the basic laws of human behavior so you can protect your mental health and maintain your dignity. Today, we are going to look closely at the hidden mechanics of emotional manipulation. We will uncover the quiet behavioral trends that people use to gain control, why certain men are highly vulnerable to these patterns, and how you can spot these subtle psychological traps before they destroy your confidence and your future. Most people move through relationships on instinct, reacting, assuming, repeating, but a few choose something different. If you're the kind of person who questions patterns instead of blindly following them, who wants clarity instead of confusion, awareness instead of reaction, then you're exactly where you need to be. This isn't about taking sides. It's about seeing things for what they are, without distortion, without ego. If that mindset speaks to you, subscribe and stay connected. Add your perspective in the comments. The conversation matters here. Background work. No narratives. Just deeper understanding and better decisions. To understand how manipulation works, we must first look at a major behavioral trend known as guilt induction. This is a psychological pattern where a partner uses your own good nature and desire to be a protective provider against you. Whenever a disagreement happens, the focus of the conversation is quickly shifted away from the original problem and turned into a discussion about your attitude, your tone, or your past mistakes. If you bring up a valid concern about how money is being spent or how a male friend is crossing lines, a manipulative dynamic will instantly change the narrative. Instead of addressing the issue, the person might cry, shut down completely, or claim that your lack of trust is hurting their feelings. Psychological observations show that when a gentle person sees their partner crying or acting hurt, their natural instinct is to stop arguing and start apologizing. Over time, this creates an unhealthy relationship pattern where you become completely afraid to speak your truth because you want to avoid the massive emotional storm that follows. You start walking on eggshells inside your own home, sacrificing your boundaries just to maintain a fake sense of peace. Another very common psychological trap is called isolation via disapproval. Humans are social creatures, and our strength often comes from the circle of people we have around us, such as our family, our childhood friends, and our business partners. A manipulative behavioral trend involves slowly eroding this support system so that you become entirely dependent on one person for your emotional validation. This does not happen through a direct command like forbidding you from seeing your friends. Instead, it happens through small, continuous negative comments. A partner might complain that your best friend is disrespectful, or that your mother is trying to control the relationship, or that your hobbies are taking away too much valuable time from them. Because you want to prove your love and commitment, you slowly start missing social gatherings, canceling plans with your buddies, and spending less time on your personal goals. Behavioral experts observe that when a man is successfully isolated from his trusted circle, his ability to see reality clearly drops significantly. He no longer has anyone outside the relationship to tell him when a situation is unhealthy, making him much easier to manage and control. Let us look at a realistic story involving a man named Michael to see how these subtle relationship dynamics look in real life. Michael was a very successful and caring engineer who entered a relationship with a woman named Jessica. In the beginning, Jessica was incredibly supportive, praising Michael's hard work and making him feel like a hero. However, after they moved in together, Michael began to notice a steady change in Jessica's behavioral patterns. Whenever Michael wanted to visit his parents on the weekend, Jessica would suddenly develop a sudden headache or claim that she felt deeply lonely and neglected. Because Michael wanted to be a good, protective partner, he would cancel his family visits to stay home and care for her. When Michael's long-term friends invited him out, Jessica would make sarcastic remarks about their maturity, making Michael feel guilty for wanting to spend time away from her. Over the course of 2 years, Michael stopped going to the gym, stopped seeing his family, and put all his financial savings into buying things that Jessica demanded to keep her happy. Whenever Michael tried to explain that he felt stressed and overwhelmed, Jessica would tell him that a real man should be able to handle pressure without complaining, or she would bring up his past flaws to show that he was the real problem. Michael made the classic mistake of thinking that if he just gave a little more money, a little more time, and a little more compliance, Jessica would finally feel secure and stop criticizing him. By ignoring his own gut feelings and allowing his self-respect to be stripped away bit by bit, Michael became a shadow of his former self, trapped in a continuous loop of anxiety and exhaustion. Have you ever felt like you had to slowly give up your friends, your family, or your favorite hobbies just to keep your partner from getting upset? I invite you to share your thoughts and personal reflections on this dynamic in the comments section below. When we break down what happened in Michael's situation, we see an important psychological lesson about boundaries. The core issue was not actually Jessica's behavior. The real problem was Michael's complete inability to hold a firm boundary when the emotional pressure was applied. When you constantly back down during a disagreement just to stop your partner from being upset, you are teaching them a very dangerous lesson. You are showing them the exact blueprint of how to override your decisions in the future. Behavioral psychology shows us that humans naturally repeat behaviors that get them the results they want. If a person learns that crying, withdrawing affection, or using silent treatment causes you to give in, they will continue to use those exact tools every single time they want their way. Protecting yourself from manipulation requires a deep understanding that you are not responsible for managing another adult person's emotional reactions. If you set a healthy boundary, such as maintaining your weekend gym routine or keeping your finances organized, and your partner reacts with anger or guilt, you must learn to sit with that discomfort without rushing to fix it. True strength is the ability to stay calm, polite, and completely unshakable in your choices, even when the person you love is trying to use emotional weight to make you bend. When you develop the internal strength to look past emotional storms and focus entirely on objective actions, you change the power dynamic of your relationship completely. You begin to realize that true respect cannot be bought with total compliance or by sacrificing your own identity. Now, we must analyze the remaining behavioral trends that will show you exactly how to break free from these psychological traps and reclaim your personal authority. We will explore how to spot the hidden patterns of emotional inflation, why maintaining your personal mission is your greatest shield against control, and how setting clear boundaries changes how people treat you forever. In relationship psychology, there is a very common behavioral pattern known as emotional inflation. This happens when a partner uses extreme reactions to minor situations to make you feel like you are constantly failing. For example, if you forget to respond to a text message quickly because you are busy at work, a manipulative dynamic will treat this mistake as a major proof that you no longer care about the relationship. They might use cold body language, give you the silent treatment for days, or say that they cannot trust you anymore. This is a psychological strategy designed to keep you on the defensive. When you are constantly trying to defend your character and prove your loyalty over small things, you do not have the mental energy to notice the larger, unhealthy patterns in the relationship. Behavioral observations reveal that when a man stops over-explaining himself and simply states his reality in a calm, brief manner, the emotional inflation loses its power entirely. If this is hitting, it's because you're not here for noise. You're here to understand. Most people react. Few people step back and actually think. This space is for those who question before they conclude and look deeper instead of louder. If that's how you move, subscribe and stay tapped in. Drop your perspective below. That's where the real conversations happen. Clarity over confusion. Awareness over assumption. Now let's go deeper. To truly protect your life from hidden control, you must understand a concept called the center of gravity. Every individual needs a core purpose in life that exists outside of their romantic relationship. This could be your career goals, your financial building, your physical health, or your personal values. When a man makes a woman the absolute center of his gravity, he becomes highly vulnerable to manipulation. Because his entire happiness depends on her mood, he will bend his rules, break his boundaries, and accept disrespect just to keep her smiling. Psychological trends show that high-value individuals maintain their center of gravity within themselves. They love their partners deeply, but their life mission remains their top priority. When a partner sees that you have a clear direction and that you are willing to walk away from anyone who tries to derail your purpose, they naturally develop a much higher level of respect for your time, your decisions, and your boundaries. Let us look at a realistic story of growth involving a man named Thomas to see how this internal shift works in everyday life. Thomas was in a relationship with a woman named Amanda for over a year. In the past, Thomas had always been a people pleaser, changing his plans whenever a partner complained. When he started dating Amanda, she began using a behavioral pattern called conditional affection. If Thomas did exactly what she wanted, she was incredibly warm and loving. But if Thomas decided to spend his evening working on his new business project instead of taking her out, Amanda would become completely cold, ignore his calls, and post cryptic messages on social media to make him feel insecure. In his previous relationships, Thomas would have panicked, apologized, and abandoned his work to fix her mood. But this time, Thomas chose clarity over reaction. He recognized the pattern. He called Amanda and said calmly, "I love you and I want to see you this weekend, but my evening work is important for my future, and I am going to finish it." When Amanda tried to use the silent treatment to punish him, Thomas did not beg for her attention. He simply went to sleep and focused on his business the next day. Seeing that her emotional withdrawal was no longer working, Amanda's behavior began to shift. She realized that Thomas possessed a strong center of gravity and could not be managed through guilt. She stopped using emotional games and began to communicate her needs in a much more direct and respectful way. By staying calm and holding his ground, Thomas saved his relationship from becoming a toxic trap and earned a true position of respect. How do you feel about the idea that staying calm and refusing to react to silent treatments is actually the fastest way to gain respect in a relationship? Think about your past experiences and share your perspective below. When you master the ability to observe human behavior without emotional distortion, you realize that you do not need to fight, argue, or become angry to stop manipulation. You simply need to become unshakable in your standards. If a person truly values you, they will adjust to your boundaries when they see that your boundaries are rooted in self-respect, not in hatred or ego. By recognizing these behavioral dynamics early, you protect your future from unnecessary stress and preserve your valuable energy for the things that truly matter. You create a life where your relationships are built on a solid foundation of mutual respect, clear communication, and shared growth. Making it to this point says more than you think. Most people skim the surface. They hear just enough to react, but not enough to understand. You stayed, which means you're willing to sit with ideas, to question patterns, and to see things more clearly than most. That's where real growth begins. If this perspective gave you something to think about, stay connected. Subscribe, and be part of a space where we don't rush to judge. We learn to understand. Leave your thoughts below, not to argue, but to add depth to the conversation. Keep sharpening your awareness. I'll meet you in the next one.